This tier list is the definitive cereal tier list. It's not just a tier list, it's the tier list, and it has some takes in it, okay? So, if you enjoy it, or if you don't enjoy it, let me know. Leave a like, subscribe, and you disagree? Comment in the comment section. I need to know. This is the tier list. Check it out. Thanks for watching. So let's just start by saying here are the ones I have not had before. I've never had Count Chocula, surprisingly. I've heard good things about it. Not like incredible or anything, but good to say the least. And I've never had, where is it? Golden Crisp. I've never even heard of it, to be honest. I know nothing about it. And I think that's it. Oh, I've never had Rice Krispie treats. Different from Rice Krispies, as Rice Krispies is, well, the Krispies, I don't know. And the Rice Krispie treats, I think they're chunks of them, which is strange but interesting. I guess not that strange because they come prepackaged and stuff. But I've never had it before. So I guess we'll just start from the left and the top here. These are the Apple Cinnamon Cheerios. They're pretty good. They're similar to like Honey Nut Cheerios, but I think they're a little bit better. They kind of have a nice like appley flavor. It's not overpowering. It's definitely not, I wouldn't consider a sugary cereal. And it's nothing out of the park. It's nothing crazy. I put it in good, but nothing special. I definitely enjoy these, but not all the time. If I'm feeling a little more reserved, I'll pick them. Pretty good. We've got Cookie Crisp. Now, Cookie Crisp, I felt like this appealed more when I was a lot younger. The texture's a little off. It's like strangely crunchy. It doesn't break apart very well. Not good, honestly. It's okay. Like, the appeal of it is it's a cookie, but that cookie is not as good as you expect it to be, which is kind of a letdown. So, it's okay. It's still a cookie. It's still cereal. If you're into that kind of thing, it's good. I just felt a little let down by it, so it's not for me. Special K. It's so bland. It's like, I don't even know what to say. I don't even know how to describe it. It's just bad, kind of. There's just nothing. It's healthy, I guess, but not even like you just have a healthier thing. It's like coleslaw, where it's like not that healthy, and there's just better options in like healthy directions, and there's better options in unhealthy directions. So honestly, in my opinion, it's pretty bad. There's really no reason to eat Special K. If you're gonna eat cereal, either if you want to be healthy, don't eat cereal. There's not really any good cereals for you, in my opinion, from what I've seen. Correct me if I'm wrong. But it's just not the best. Not great. Kix. Kix is a little better than Special K. It's got a crunch to it, and it's got like slightly more like a corn flavor, almost like Fritos, I guess. It's a little bit better. It's fine. Not good, honestly. Won't really pick it in the grocery. Like not gonna buy it, but like if somebody has it, I'll eat it, and I won't be too upset with them. Apple Jacks. Okay, I've eaten a lot of Apple Jacks in my time, and they're really good. Now, they aren't insane. They do get, if you obviously have milk with them, and if you're having dry cereal, you're a monster. Don't do that. But when you have milk with them, I feel like they get too soggy too fast, and then you're kind of at this race against time to eat the freaking Apple Jacks, and for that, I can't put them in goated. I don't want to feel like I'm on a time challenge to eat my cereal. Don't like it. Not the best. Cornflakes. Now, I feel like cornflakes and Special K are very similar. Personally, I like the texture in cornflakes a little more. I still think they're bad. There's not really a reason to eat them. Same kind of boat as Special K. Captain Crunch. Now, if you've never had Captain Crunch, it's a classic. It's really good. It's really good. The crunch is perfect. It doesn't get too soggy, too fast. You have a lot of ample time to eat it. it's just good. It's just a good cereal. I think of putting it in goated. It's just really good. That's it. I have nothing more to say. It's just like solid flavor, solid crunch, just a solid cereal. That's it. Just a good one. It's like this. It's the bar. It's the standard. You know, nothing super crazy going on there, but it's just good. It's just really solid. That's it. Rice Chex. It's pretty much similar to Kix, except rice. Nice little texture to it. I wish it had more flavor, but the texture is really interesting and kind of nice. Kind of crunchy, but like falls apart in your mouth at the same time, which is kind of interesting. So for that, I put it above Corn Flakes and Special K. It's got a cool texture. Now this is peanut butter Cap'n Crunch. I haven't had this one quite as much as original Cap'n Crunch, but it's pretty good. I feel like the peanut butter flavor is a little overpowering. So personally, I prefer the original Cap'n Crunch over it. But it's still pretty good, pretty solid. It's really good. It's not quite goated, but it's very good. A good take on a classic. This is the Honey Bunches of Oats. I've only had it a couple times. I think it's got a nice crunch to it. Similar to this. I guess it's like slightly better. It's like a little sweeter. It's really not terrible, but I'll eat it and I won't complain. Not really much to say about it. Now, Rice Krispies. I am not a fan of Rice Krispies. I like Rice Krispie treats, not the cereal. I don't know. I've never had it, obviously. But just Rice Krispies by themselves, they're like not that great. Like they're like fine, you know. I'll eat it. I won't be happy about it. Very bland. Slightly sweeter than Corn Flakes Special K in my opinion, but it's okay, I guess. Not the best. Very bland. Minimal texture too. Cinnamon Toast Crunch. The flavor is awesome. The texture is awesome. The concept, you're eating little toasts that have cinnamon on them. It's awesome. It's like the best. I think it's goated. I really do. I think it's in a similar vein to Cap'n Crunch. I think it's slightly worse than Cap'n Crunch because sometimes you'll have those like pockets of a lot of like I don't know, they're not sugar, but it's like I don't know what it's called. But there's like pockets of like sand, I guess, which sounds so awful, but it's not that bad. Of like clusters of it, and it's kind of like a little overwhelming at times and a little inconsistent there. The consistency isn't great, but it's only towards the bottom of the bag, so it's fine for the most part. We have Frosted Mini Wheats. I like these a lot. My only problem is with them is that they're like a little too big. Even though mini's in their name, it's weird. Sometimes you'll put it in your mouth and you'll kind of want to flip it on like the frosted side is facing your tongue, whereas the unfrosted side isn't, because then it's just you know. So I think it's good. I think the consistency of flavor and not flavor, because sometimes you'll like get a mouthful and it's just like you just taste no frosting even though it's there. Also, similar to Apple Jacks, you feel like you're in a time crunch when you're eating them because they'll fastly disintegrate and they'll be extremely soggy towards the end. I used to like it, and now it's kind of annoyance. I still think it's good though. I still think it's pretty good. I think it's a good cereal. If I could have it be, I taste the frosted side every time, and they don't disintegrate and become awful towards the end of my eating session, they'd probably be really good. But for their inconsistencies and for feeling like I'm on a time crunch, it's good. It's nothing great. Honey Nut Cheerios. I feel like this is right in the middle. It's okay. It's on the higher end of okay, I feel like. It's not like bad by any stretch, but it's not like great either. You know? It's just like a solid cereal. It's like the middle of the pack. It's like the mid tier, you know? I feel like cereal is balanced around Honey Nut Cheerios. And as far as like everything, like sweetness to how healthy it's supposed to be, to the texture, to just everything. It's like, cereal is balanced around Honey Nut Cheerios. Changed my mind. We have normal Cheerios now. Much worse than Honey Nut Cheerios. Extremely bland, not the best texture. Just boring and bland. It's not. It's pretty trash. It's better than Corn Flakes, better than Special K. It's at least got a little texture to it, but not the best. Now we have Reese's Puffs. Now Reese's Puffs is pretty good. Like, it's pretty cracked. It's really good. The more I talk to myself about Reese's Puffs, the more I love it. Sometimes, like, there's like I don't want to say it's like a frosting bit around the edges of them, but sometimes you could put like a bunch in your mouth, and that part feels overwhelming, and then it goes away. So it's not like, I do think it's in Goated, but it's towards the bottom end of Goated. You just feel like there's like a layer of like epoxy resin on your tongue sometimes with these things, and I don't appreciate it. But I think the goods of the texture, the flavor is amazing. Everything else just kind of overpowers that weird little bit there. So, Lucky Charms. Now, I think Lucky Charms is interesting. It depends on where you are in the bag of Lucky Charms. If you start the Lucky Charm bag, it's probably the most goated cereal, like, as far as flavor and everything, because there's so many marshmallows at the top of the bag, and it's awesome. But when you get towards the bottom of the bag, the concentration of marshmallows becomes less and less, and it slowly just gets worse. Like, you'll have less and less marshmallows through it, which is not good. So it kind of depends on where you are in the bag. Like, at the bottom of the bag, I think it's pretty low end of I'll eat it but I won't be happy. It's not garbage by any stretch. And towards the top of the bag, it's goated. So I have to put it in probably the top of good, but nothing special. Cocoa Rice Krispies. Now these are so good. I love Cocoa Krispies. They are super good, super consistent flavor. Very deep, like, not the best texture, but like good texture, solid texture. It turns the milk chocolate. It's a gimmick, but I don't care. I fell for it. It's awesome. It's goated. It's the best one on the list so far. Easy, in my opinion. A great cereal every time. That's it. It's chocolate and it's wonderful. It's probably the best chocolate cereal out there. Changed my mind. It's so good. Froot Loops. Now, Froot Loops is... I have mixed feelings on Froot Loops. It's not, like, incredible or anything. It's just pretty good. I feel like it's similar to Apple Jacks. It has the similar problem of becoming too, like, moist and awful towards the end of it. I feel like that problem doesn't have as much as Apple Jacks and some of the other cereals. I think it's just a solid cereal. It's good. It's fruity, not overpowering, but a solid amount of fruity. It's just a good fruity cereal. Not much to really say about it, I guess. Raisin Bran. Now, when I was younger, I used to not like Raisin Bran that much. When I was, like, really young, like, below the age of 6. And then, like, 7 to 9, I loved Raisin Bran a lot. The raisins are covered in sugar, so it's a plus or minus depending on how you look at it. Now, I think Raisin Bran is pretty good. Now, actually, I think I used to love it and I didn't like it, and I'm kind of back around to it now. It's gone the full arc. So I think it's probably at the bottom of really good. If you do have a bunch of, like, just the bran part and no raisins, it's not good. It's probably garbage. That's pretty rare. It has, like, Lucky Charms, like, not as big of a problem as Lucky Charms had, where it's, Lucky Charms, there's, like, less and less, where if the Raisin Bran doesn't have the problem as much, which is nice. Fruity Pebbles. Fruity Pebbles is the cereal. It's the best cereal. It's just like Froot Loops on crack. It's so good. Now Now it doesn't have the same thing where it turns the water, or not the water, the milk to like a cocoa chocolate flavor, but it's so good. It's so good. Like, it's just very fruity. It's kind of like texture's pretty good. I don't know why, but I feel like texture in Fruity Pebbles is better than on Cocoa Krispies. I guess they are different. I'm just now realizing that. It's more fruity than Fruit Loops, but it's not like insane. It's so good. It's so good. It's insane texture. It's just so good. That's it. Fruity Pebbles. I think it might be my favorite on the list, but we'll see. Cocoa Puffs. Cocoa Puffs is interesting. I feel like it's good at the beginning of the bowl, but towards the end, it has like a similar thing with Cocoa Krispies where it turns the milk chocolatey, but it gets like a disgusting chocolatey, which I never thought I'd say in my entire life because I love chocolate, but it gets just kind of gross. Like, it just feels icky, like oily. I don't know, it's disgusting. I'm honestly not a big fan of it. I think it's toward the bottom of, I think it's better than Cocoa Krispies. Cookie Crisp, I'm sorry, Cookie Crisp, but it's close. It's close. I'm just not a fan of it. Towards the end, it's really off-putting and it's kind of gross. But at the very beginning, the first few bites, pretty good, pretty solid. Probably being like really good or even goated, but towards it just gets worse and worse and worse throughout. Like the more you go, and it's just not it. Frosted Flakes. Frosted Flakes is like your typical high-tier cereal. Pretty consistent, pretty like sugary, I guess. Yeah, it's very sugary. The variance in the flakes is kind of interesting. I feel like, I don't know if I'm digging way too deep in this. I guess I'm making a cereal tier list, so I am. But, you know, it's just a solid, good cereal. Towards the end of the bowl, the flakes are they only get better. Like, it's like a nice crunch, and towards the end, it's like not super moist and wet, but it's just like a nice amount of like sogginess, but not in a bad way. It sounds bad. Sogginess sounds bad, but it's good. I put it in really good. I'd put it probably above this. I think it's at the top of really good right now. Okay, now we have Captain Crunch with Crunch Berries. So it's literally just normal Captain Crunch, but they add these balls of like fruit flavoring, and they're the same texture as the Captain Crunch. They're just like a sphere, and they do it for me. They're really good. They're super cracked. I think it's above Cocoa Krispies. It's so close, but I think it's above Cocoa Krispies. Can you see that, like the fruity cereals? That is not overpowering. They're really good. The amount of fruitiness is great. The mixed with the crunch, Captain Crunch, I don't know, they're pillows. I don't know what they're called. They look like pillows. It's really good. It's super, super, super good. Highly recommend them. You can't really go wrong with it. It's great. Raisin Bran, 2 scoops. So it's literally, I think I don't know for sure, but I've had it before. It's literally just Raisin Bran, but with more raisins. Double the raisins, because 2 scoops. You know, he's got 2 scoops in this picture. I don't know, but it's really good. It's like pretty similar to Raisin Bran. I feel like it doesn't bring it much up that much, but I'd probably put it above Fruit Loops. Sometimes the raisins can be too much in it. It's kind of got an opposite problem with normal Raisin Bran, where sometimes you don't have enough raisins, then you have too much raisins. So maybe Raisin Bran, 1.5 scoops is gonna be better. I don't know. That would be cool. Honeycomb. Honeycomb is really good. I didn't have honeycomb until I was like 13 or 14, at which point I tried like pretty much every other cereal that I tried, and I was pleasantly surprised. It's really, really good. Right amount of crunch, right amount of flavor. Just a solid honey-based cereal. Probably at the top, really good. I think it's better than Frosted Flakes. Slowly coming up on it. Might be goated, but I think right now it sticks around and really good. One day it may be goated, not today. Trix. Trix is really good. It's a pretty standard fruity cereal. I feel like it's lacking a little bit compared to Fruity Pebbles and Captain Crunch with Crunch Berries, but it's still a really solid fruity cereal. Um, it's just like nothing special. I feel like it's just like a worse version of these two, really. So I probably put it a little below Frosted Flakes. It's just like a solid fruity cereal, a little lacking compared to Fruity Pebbles and Captain Crunch Berries, in my opinion. Corn Pops. Man, Corn Pops is weird. I used to not like Corn Pops very much, and now I just think they're decent. Like, they're good, nothing special. Probably definitely worse than Lucky Charms. Probably they're like right around the same spot as the Honey Nut Cheerios. I think they're actually a little better than them. They're not, excuse me, the apple cinnamon Cheerios. Corn Pops are good. They're kind of this weird like consistency once they get like wet. Like they're like almost like sponge like they bounce. I don't know how to explain it. That's not the right description, but it gets a strange flavor, like a strange texture. I'm not a huge fan of. Flavor is good, but not incredible, so it's fine. Cocoa Pebbles. I feel like they're pretty similar to Cocoa Krispies. They're essentially the same thing. I feel like the chocolatey part has a similar problem as Cocoa Puffs, where it's like an overwhelming amount of chocolatiness in the milk, but it's still pretty solid. It's just a really good cereal. I'd probably put it at the top of really good. It has the ups of Cocoa Krispies and not quite the downs of Cocoa Puffs, so I think it's pretty goated. It's definitely worse than Cocoa Krispies, but it's pretty goated. Honey Smacks. I've only had Honey Smacks a couple of times, so I'm not that informed on it. But I think generally it's okay. I think it's better than Cookie Crisp and Cocoa Puffs and Honey Nut Cheerios. I think it's pretty solid. This is our tier list. Fight me if you think it's, if you think like Special K is a goated cereal, I don't know, like, stop. Fight about it in the comments. I don't know, like, dude, like, I will fight you on it. So, I'm pretty firm about these. I could see a couple of them coming up. I could see, like, Frosted Flakes coming up. I could see Honeycomb coming up, but maybe Trix, maybe. But I think it's pretty solid. I think I have a lot of experience with cereals. Too much, some might say. But I think overall, that's the list.